course, hybrid corn came in about 1930. Actually, the first hybrid seed corn was produced in 1926 and sold in 1927. That was, a very, very small scale. And by 1930, it was beginning to find a niche in farmers' fields. My dad always, and all other farmers who raised corn, saved seed from their field from one year to plant in the next year. My dad had a box on the side of his wagon when he harvested corn by hand. When he'd find a nice ear that he thought would be a good, might be good for seed, he'd put it in the box. Essentially, it was free, so that was it was quite a change when they went to hybrid corn, when they had to buy the seed and pay a fairly good price for it in the middle of the Depression. Yeah, I suppose it was probably 1936 or somewhere in there when hybrid corn really took off, and what some of the old timers have told me is a reason why it was so successful. It was also in the middle of the drought, and hybrid corn did better under drought stress, so much better than the open pollinated varieties that they previously had used, that they it just sold itself very, very rapidly. In a period of about 10 years, this country went from essentially very little hybrid corn to nearly 100%, maybe 90% hybrid corn in a period of 10 years. That was a remarkable revolution in agriculture. My dad used, I think, had a bag of hybrid corn that he planted probably in 1936. I don't remember the year, but I do remember that when it happened quite vividly. And the difference between that portion of the field where he planted the hybrid versus his open pollinated variety was so striking that he never planted any seed from his own field again. That was it wasn't something that he weighed. Yeah, he didn't weigh it. He could tell the difference, but it yielded so much more and stood better, making it easier to harvest, that he never planted his open pollinated seed again. 20% is large. I mean, economically, you can't ignore that. The average yield of corn in the United States at that time was 25 bushel per acre. And 20% of 25 is 5 bushels per acre. Now, that is not a lot. You don't think that 5 bushels is a lot. But 5 bushels was enough to do it, to make that shift. If some farms, I suppose, were producing more than that, but but 5 bushels per acre on a national average was enough to change the way farmers grew corn. Yeah. Well, the average yield in the United States now is about 130. So we've increased a little over 100 bushel per acre in how many years? Since 1930, 70, going on 75 years, pretty close.